welcome to Comics Without Capes, where I chat about comics without superheroes. Today I am going to chat about an author that I've already chatted about 2 other times on this channel. Every time I've read her books, they stand out so much in my mind. The book that we're talking about today is Something Not Nothing by Sarah Leavitt. I saw the actual physical book somewhere, and I didn't pick it up at the time, but it was etched in my brain. I was like, I need to read this book. I just saw it and was like, I've never seen a comic like this, and I need to read it. So finally got to reading it after reading 2 of her other books, which were also awesome. This book is kind of comics, but it's also kind of more than just being comics. It's like an art journal. It is like a raw diary that you are reading that also happens to have like watercolor paintings in it. I've never seen anything like it. And it's documenting Sarah's grieving journey. So her partner Donimo had been dealing with a bunch of chronic pain, chronic health issues, and just had a rapid decline in her quality of life and did choose a medically assisted death in April 2020. So this book basically is showing Sarah Leavitt's grieving process, some of the ups and downs, the questions. It really just shows that in a very raw and honest way. And it also kind of shows that complexity when there's a little bit of choice involved also. In general, everything was kind of following basically up to the 2-year mark after the end of the second year. So opening into year 3 of the grief process. This book would have been so hard to make, and on one hand it may also have had like a little bit of an art therapy side to it, but it's also something that I think just the fact that she put this out in the world, I think is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm like tearing up because this whole book I didn't bawl while I was reading this book, but my eyes were like soggy and watery pretty much the entire way through. Like you could just feel how much love there was in this book, and you could feel just how much there's so many like complicated emotions, there's so many like questions, and it's so transparent and it's so fucking real. And it was just beautiful and sad. It's also kind of merging that bridge between the things that you can express and the things that you can't through that art and word combination. It's such a beautiful way of talking about grief. It's such a beautiful way of communicating that side of things. So powerful. So well done. Oh my gosh. I thought I maybe could do this without like tearing up, but this book was just like, oh my goodness. She shows queer representation in a really good way, I think, especially for people who themselves do not identify as queer or don't know any queer people. I think what's so great about her work is that it's so relatable on a like human level. So I think it's really good just to have such powerful representation. I know this is like just her life and this is just her, but I think the things that she does are so valuable. So she used brush, black ink, watercolored, colored pencils. Pretty much everything was done by hand. And she also has some things that are very abstract, that are just kind of black and white comics. There's some stuff with like beautiful watercolor. There's some things that are wordless, some things that very much have speech bubbles and typical like comic conventions. There's so much variety in these panels. It's very raw. There's like some things that are like scribbled out. There's some things that are kind of blocked out. There's things that kind of don't even actually fit in the page. But like it kind of works for this type of book. It just feels like you are seeing something that is incredibly personal. In terms of who I would recommend this for, it's obviously something that not everyone is going to want to read, but I think it is just such an amazing book. If you are someone who has ever gone through a similar process and you just want to kind of see someone else's kind of verbalizing of it, or if you are someone who just appreciates humanity and understanding people, I think this is just such a valuable book. Showing when like sometimes words just don't cut it. There are so many heavy comics. There are so many comics that talk about tough subjects. So it's not like she's the only one. I'm actually trying to find balance in my reading life because I tend to gravitate towards like sad comics, but it's like it's a little bit too much. I need to find a few things to like level that stuff out. But her comics specifically are so different in compared to what I've seen other comics do, communicating things that I don't see communicated very much, that I don't see talked about very much. And she does it in a way that feels very organic. It feels very real and it feels so human. And I think we need art like this. So thanks for joining me. Sorry if I'm really flustered in this video. It is so hot right now. And I also just like apparently got really emotional talking about this book. If you enjoyed this and you like conversations about comics without superheroes, I'd love to see you subscribe. Thanks. Take care. Bye.